Why are more and more IVF experts across the world no longer doing fresh embryo transfers and instead performing frozen embryo transfers only? Find out on today's episode of Infertility TV. Look at these trends from IVF cycles performed in the USA. Doctors are reducing the number of fresh transfers and increasing the number of frozen cycles. We also see similar changes in other countries. We now have nationwide data on the chances for pregnancies and live births. As you can see, the chances for having a baby is about 10% higher when we don't put embryos into the uterus immediately. Why does this happen? Think about two different factors: how fast the embryo develops and how fast the uterine lining is maturing. First, the embryos. An embryo starts out as one cell. Through the process of dividing, it gets to be over 100 cells within 5 to 6 days. This is known as the blastocyst stage. After an embryo reaches the blastocyst stage, it must escape from the shell that surrounds it before it can implant. So an embryo that reaches the blastocyst stage sooner is ready to implant sooner, and one that takes longer is not ready to implant until later. Second, the uterine lining. In order for the uterine lining to become receptive to an embryo, it must exhibit a transformation which is brought about by the hormone progesterone. It takes several days of progesterone exposure before the lining is able to allow an embryo to implant. In order for a pregnancy to occur, the two factors have to be perfectly synchronized. A slow developing embryo that finds a uterine lining that is ready too quickly is not likely to work. The same will happen the other way around. In a fresh IVF cycle, there is no way to manipulate the two factors to bring them in sync. You just have to be lucky and hope the two match up. With a frozen embryo transfer, you know the stage of the embryo and you can control the development of the uterine lining so that you can sync up the two very easily. The result? A higher chance for pregnancy. Determining the timing of transfer is an important part of synchronization. Watch this video next to learn how to optimally time your embryo transfer and other tips. If you have a question, leave it in the comments. Click the link in the description if you would like to become a new patient, or just subscribe for new episodes of Infertility TV weekly. It's like having a fertility specialist in your phone.